We have two cameras. So I got the GoPro in the cab on me, my GoPro Hero 12 that I just got. Got the DJI Action 4 on the fender of the tractor. And I'm using the DJI mic app, mic 2 to talk. And I have the drone in the air, so I got the controller in my hand. So it has been a day. We have fought. We have fought today. So we got the baler hooked up this morning, and should have known it was going to be a day when I went to hook the baler up, and I had one hydraulic hose that gave me a real hard time. That should have been like the clue that today was going to be a day, because I haven't had a hydraulic hose give me a hard time in a long time. I couldn't get it to lock in, messed around with it, switched to hoses, and it went right in the other one, which is not what I wanted. And so we've been fighting with the baler too. Looks like it didn't tie. So I got to get out and see why it didn't tie. That probably would have gone right in there. Alright, well, we'll see if we're going to edit this part out or not. But anyway, I had trouble with the baler not tying the other day. And I ended up the other day, I was way down on the steep field. And I couldn't get it to tie. I had like no tools. And, you know, I wasn't going to haul it all the way out of there and all the way back just to finish. I was almost done. I think I ended up making 6 or 7 bales. So I ended up getting out and doing that right there, manually tripping it by just kicking that lever down. And I did 6 or 7 bales that way. Well, then I got back and I got looking at it that night, and I discovered the chain. So the arm gets pushed up as the bale's making a bale. When it gets to a full bale, there's a chain hooked on that arm, and that chain pulls, and that's what makes your trip work, so it ties. Well, so I looked at it the other night, and I think I looked at it maybe yesterday morning. Well, the chain had like 1 or 2 links that weren't quite doing what they're supposed to be doing. They weren't quite bending both ways. So I sprayed it with WD-40. I emptied what was left of one can, and emptied what was left of another can. Sprayed it on as good as I could, and then I thought, well, if it gets through this, there's 2 sprockets, gets through the sprockets a couple times, gets pulled back and forth in the sprocket, it's probably going to start working. And so I came out today and I started baling, and it didn't work. I couldn't get it to do anything. Wouldn't tie. Well, then I found out that arm where the chain goes up in there, there's a bolt that holds the chain up in there. And I found out that bolt was broken. So then I changed the bolt, and see, now it tripped. So I changed the bolt, and then I had slack in it somehow. I don't know how I got, but there was slack in it. So I didn't get the chain back up in there as far as it's supposed to be. And luckily I have long arms, because I was able to, there's a cable on the other end where you adjust your bale size. That's a cable, then that hooks to a chain, goes through a pulley, and I couldn't do it from the top. I ended up had to get down, and I had to pull on the cable, pull it up, and then I had to hold it in my arm and climb up. And luckily I have long arms and I can do that. And then I got some slack out of it. Well, then I started making small bales. There's a drone, actually. So then I started making small bales. So then, okay, when I just had it over there when it didn't trip, and I had to do it get out and do it, I had adjusted it to try to make bigger bales again, and I went just a little bit too far, and it wouldn't trip because it was too big of a bale or whatever, I don't know. So now I got it adjusted back, and so I made 3 or 4 small ones, and now we're back to make one big one, I guess. And now we're back to making what we normally make. I think they look about the same size. Well, I don't really care at this point. I'm like 3 hours behind for the day. I'd make small bales if that's all I could get. At this point, we had trouble with the rake today. Well, the rake and the rake tractor, ended up having to switch the rake tractor. I put the 966 on the rake, and then I actually had to rake. So about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours behind by now. So I really don't care. Make little bales, I'll take them. So it's always something that you got to learn. I mean, there's always something to learn, that's for sure. So I guess the plan is to maybe take that chain off and see if there's like 2 links that aren't quite flexing, bending both ways like they're supposed to. One of them's actually supposed to be up in the arm, I think, and that was part of the problem, was I couldn't get it up in there. But then I figured out when the baler was half open, I could get it up in there. And the bolt just goes through right between the links, just goes through a link. And so it's no big deal. It's probably supposed to be a hardened bolt, but just a regular 5/16 bolt. I brought a couple extras with me, so if that breaks, I'll fix that. But hopefully we'll get through today. And so when I made it go bigger, the lever wasn't sitting in the right spot on the trip arm thing. So you got to have it sit. There's a spot it's supposed to sit. It wasn't sitting in there, so it wasn't even pushing on the right. Wasn't even pushing on the right part. But we got it. So I got this field. This is the wet field. Got this field, and I got the last field to do. I think there's 12 or 14 acres over there. We're gonna get it. It's still plenty hot. Good weather. But man, I tell you, what a job! And had to climb up on top of the baler, and then if I stood on the tire to do it, it was, I'm 6'3", so it was I was a little bit too tall, but I couldn't reach it from the ground. Reaching up on top, you could only reach so much because it was behind the door, kinda. But we got it working. I'm happy with it. I don't really know whether they're 5-foot bales or not, but they look like pretty close. So right there, it stopped just before the stop, which is probably all right. I don't know, it might take a little bit of messing to get it back to being where it's supposed to be, but I'd rather have it stop early, make a little bit smaller bale, as long as it makes it on its own. So then we can get back to working on the monitor and figuring out why the alarm doesn't go off for a bale. I still haven't figured that out. I don't know, I haven't had time, but looked at the relays. I haven't had time to look at the relays. I did look it up. I think I looked the part up online. I don't know if you've been on New Holland website, but man, is it hard to look up parts now. I don't know what they did, but it is hard to find the right page to start with and then look up parts. I looked up parts and I could not get the picture only so big. I even printed it out. Still wasn't big enough that I could read the numbers of the parts. And of course, the one I think that it says part not illustrated or something like that. I think it's called the ECM or something like that, just like in a car. And I think it's about twice as much money as last time I looked it up. I think last time I looked it up it was like $350 or $400. And if I had the right part yesterday, I think that was when I looked it up. I think it said $709 or something like that. So holy crap! Of course, it's an electronic part. Who knows where it's made? So I'm hoping to try the relays. Maybe if I get lucky, maybe if I get a day where I can't do hay, and maybe if I run over the dealer, maybe they have a used baler. Maybe I could talk them into letting me try the part out of that to see if it works. There's only 2 bolts that hold it in, and then it's just one plug. But that one plug is like starts the whole, powers the whole system or whatever, however you want to look at it. One plug is I guess it's the feed from your battery to the computer on the baler or whatever you're going to talk about. Electronic, what's ECM? Electronic control module. So it gives the power to that. And so if they had a used baler, maybe they would let me take it off. It'd take about 5 minutes to take it out and try it. Mine, the plastic clips broke on the plug. Somebody bailed and pulled the wire harness out of the tongue. Now there's a little bit smaller again. I think maybe that lever didn't get back on that one. But we're just going to roll with it for now. I'm not going to. As long as it's tying, I'm just going to keep going. I think I might actually need somebody else to help me get it adjusted, because I think I need somebody else to hold the tension while I clamp her down. Anyway, so if they have a used baler, that'd be like the perfect situation. Just go over there, hey, can I borrow that part off that used baler to see if that's see if that works before I spend $700 to buy the new one. And the other thing is, I wonder if the drone not moving. The drone stopped, didn't it? You know, and maybe that would save me on it. And the other thing is, just because it's $700 and it's listed on the webpage doesn't mean they can get it. You know, I don't even know whether they can get the part. So the other idea is maybe find one at a place where they took in a baler and maybe got burned up, and the back all got burned up, and maybe the electrical stuff up front, you know, the tongue and whatnot's okay, or one that maybe somebody wrecked or something. But I've actually thought about going and getting a salvage baler just for parts, but I haven't done it yet. We'll get the drone up here, and we'll try the drone one more time. Get lost me when I was right up against the trees. There's a bale. So that was a little bit early again, so we'll see. Come on, drone. I still have my hydraulic lever backwards. I guess I didn't get it put in, and then I did get it put in and ended up backwards anyway. Really like to have them the same way all the time, but I'm not going to change that now either. Looks like that bale's not too bad, maybe just a tad bit small. I don't have a ruler with me anyway. Looks like it's a little small. Alright, Mr. Drone. Alright, we'll try the drone one more time, and then we'll call it a video. Just real interested to see if I can get this to work. Got a camera on me, camera on the baler, got the drone in the air, using the mic for the audio. I did figure out, I went in and I turned the camera audio down so the noise of the tractor and the baler would be down and my voice would hopefully be up. I didn't look up to see if I could turn the mic up. I'll probably do that tonight if I think about it. So you can turn down, you know, so you don't have to listen to the tractor just whine and grind any more than I have to. And so that'd be like the last, you know, little bit of thing to learn about the video. So I've had the cameras mounted the whole time, just kind of been, that's where it was tripping the other day, I think. Kind of just been waiting to see if I can get the baler to work how I want it to. I need to get I ordered a mount for this controller for the drone so I could mount it somewhere. I found out that a guy makes a 3D printed piece for it that makes it so it's can be a GoPro mounted. So then you can use it on your GoPro mount. So I'd be able to probably suction cup it in this tractor. Hopefully suction cup it to the window. And then I'll get I'm going to do the same thing with my baler monitor, which I just have laying on the side dash here. Do the same thing with the baler monitor, and I'm going to put a GoPro thing on that and mount that, so then that'll be mounted how I want it to. Right now it doesn't work, so really not much sense in doing it. But that's kind of like the mission for the year, is to figure out the monitor. Get a little mud flying, a little wet hole right there, and try to get that working. About, if it costs $700, it costs $700. Thing with that is that I don't, I'm kind of used to looking back like this anyway. But if somebody else, it makes it just easier so you can have somebody else bail and not have to worry about whether they're paying attention or not. As far as, oh, you got to bail. But looks like the drone lost me again. I think it's just actually the drone did pretty good the other day in this field. I think the sun has a little bit to do with it. I think the drone actually might prefer to be a little higher, looking down a little bit more, maybe. I'm not sure. But we're gonna give the drone give the drone a break. We're just gonna leave it where it is. We're gonna call it a video. I know my last one was pretty long. I didn't mean to do that, but I think it's pretty cool to not only share the farming aspect of it, but also some of the technology of how to make videos and things like that too, so that other people can benefit from that as well. I haven't really found anybody that does that. I know there's a couple different guys that I follow. They use multiple cameras and they use drones and things like that when they're doing their farming. But not that I know of anyway. I haven't really seen where they've said, hey, I got this drone and this camera. One guy the other day, a grumpy farmer, I think he said something about his GoPro. And Mike P, 7810, the other day I watched a video of his, and he said that, well, I'm not going to put the drone up. I think he might have a DJI drone as well. But, because that was kind of the thing. When I was going to get started, I thought about, I would like to make videos. Well, I bought a GoPro. I bought a GoPro Hero 10 because it was on sale. And by the time I bought a couple mounts and a couple batteries, it was the price of the Hero 12 anyway. But I'm like, I'm not going to spend $500 on my first one and find out that I don't like it, So we started using it late last summer, and now this year we started using it. Then I found out about the DJI, and I bought that. And then I also bought the Hero 12 because it was on sale. Got the Hero 12, I think it was on sale for $300 or something like that. So it gives me a chance to run 3 cameras if I wanted to. I'm not sure where I would put the third one. A little nervous about putting one on a baler or something like that. But I do like these suction cups. So the GoPro's up there. It's mounted with the Tellison suction cup. I've heard a lot of good things about the Tellison stuff. And the DJI's on the back fender. That's actually using the GoPro suction cup. They both seem like they work really well. But anyway, we're going to call it a video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more to find out more footage, what's happening at Triple D Farms, Maple and Cabins. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment. That'd be great. Have a great day.